let's get into today's video, and let me just double check that that is working there. I think it is. I've just got all this crazy stuff, software windows open on my computer here. So happy Monday, everyone. I'm stoked for this week. Lots of fun stuff coming up. We have just more videos that you'll find here, as well as just some fun stuff, some cool opportunities that I'm going to be releasing in the next couple of days to help with your guitar playing. And but for the focus of today's video is I want to just try something new here. I want you to ask me anything that comes to mind about your lead guitar playing, whether you're watching this live or if you want to comment and ask a question after the fact. I am going to be reading all the comments, all the questions, and I'll be answering them here and also in future videos. So be sure to ask a question below, your pressing questions, your burning questions about lead guitar, and as usual, I'm going to find some kind of simple strategy or go into my toolbox and have some shortcut or a guitar hack or whatever it is. If you've been watching my videos, you know the drill. I help you to play from day one. And speaking of which, if you want to check out my program, it's not a guitar course. It's not where you just watch videos. You work with me personally, and I show you how to learn songs faster with less practice time, songs that you want to play, not just songs that that I assign to you or something like that. It's all what you want to play. Check out playfromday1.com, add your name to the waiting list, and yeah, I look forward to chatting with you because it is a very cool program, and there's definitely a lot of songs that you'll be able to play. But enough of that. You can see here that I've got my camera set up and just some equipment over here. I was just shooting some videos for this week, and it's a lot of fun. So let me just double check over here if there are. I'm going to scroll over to the group here because I can see. Can you just let me know in the chat that you can see and hear me clearly, and I will make sure that all this is working over here. All right, and I see Greg. Welcome, buddy. All right, and inside the chat over here. Okay, if you could see and hear me clearly, please let me know, and then we will get into some Q&A. Some of the chats come up over here on my screen, and some of them don't. So, okay, cool, awesome. So it looks like we are good to go. One of the things that I talked about last week was scales, right? Because scales and soloing. Oh man, there's so many things that I feel like guitar players think that they should do, and they stick to it, hoping for a result one day, and then they wonder why there's no result. And this isn't to bash anyone. This is just to tell you how it is. If you want to play songs, okay? Even as my shirt says over here, play now, polish later, okay? Play now, polish later. Play music, okay? And it doesn't even have to be perfect. Just as long as you're playing music and playing songs that you love, then you're in the right realm there. You're in the right arena. And if you want to write songs, then that's also what you should be doing. You should be writing songs as well as learning songs that inspire you to write other songs, and not just practicing scales all day. Sometimes if you want to practice speed, then scales could be used for that, but I just don't think it's as effective or as fun to just be doing this all day. Now you're probably doing more than that, but you get my point that if you were playing a riff instead, then it's going to be a lot better. Like what just popped in my head? Audioslave. How does that go again? Yeah. So, yeah, like if let's just say we're working on riffs and things like that, you don't want to be playing, let's say, if you're playing a riff, then, and technically that's rhythm guitar. A riff would be rhythm guitar very often, but the point is still there that if you want to play a riff and you want to play, you want to write riffs, let's say, or you just want to play more riffs, you should be playing more riffs. I mean, it sounds kind of obvious, but again, it's not obvious with how I find people actually practicing. They're just usually just practicing, okay, I'm going to practice my scales and just like that. But instead, if you were playing, let's just say you love Audioslave or Tom Morello, you know, and then how's the chorus go? Yeah, so like that's what you should be doing rather than practicing scales, okay? Even if you're playing it slowly, even if you're going like the fastest you can do is you should be playing that with the record, and you should be doing that instead of practicing scales all the time. Now just let me know. I mean, it's okay, listen, it's all right if you're practicing scales, if you're practicing exercises, because you just don't know yet. You just don't know that songs are more important than scales and exercises. You just don't know. If your song playlist is empty, that you can't play any songs, then please don't play scales and exercises hoping that one day you're going to be playing songs. Play songs today, play songs tomorrow, play songs the next day. That's a better approach in my experience, myself as well as with hundreds of students around the world. Is not just in one place or one style of music or one skill level. Songs are the answer. Okay, songs are the main thing that has all the information that you need. It has all the movements, the coordinations. It has the information, like the music theory if you want to analyze it. Has it all in there, but you don't even necessarily need to dig into that. You just need to explore the song. Actually, sorry. Let me scratch that. It's a little bit early in the morning here. You need to learn the song and just play the song. And if you don't even want to think about it, then you don't have to think about it. It's only optional if you want to dig in and like explore the theory and all of the information inside the song. But if you just want to play and you just want to get your hands on that, then that's totally cool. So, hey Don, hey Tony, good to see you guys. So I'm gonna stay on I'm just gonna hang out for a little while here, a little bit different than other daily posts that I do. And if you have any questions about lead guitar, like what's something that you're working on in your lead playing, and what's a problem that you're having with whether it's, let's say, bends or slides or pull-offs or tapping or anything that you might have inside your any obstacle you might be facing, there's always a way around it. And sometimes it's about simplifying those things. So for example, another thing that I often say is if bends are tricky for you, then turn those bends into slides. So for example, let's just say if you have, what would be an example of that? Oh yeah, so Hotel California. So for example, if you have that bend, that's a big bend from 12, you're going to the 15th fret, you're basically playing a full step and a half, okay? So you're basically going, it's a full bend plus a half, so you're going up 3 frets, okay? Hey, John Harbour, how's it going, buddy? So instead, if you can't do that, and maybe it might fall flat, like you might go, and it doesn't quite get there, and you're trying to get there, but if you can't do that bend, then turn that into a slide. Just basically go for a half bend, you'll go up 1 fret. For a full bend, you'll go up 2 frets. And for a 1.5 step bend, you go 3 frets. So what you would do is you'd go to your target here, okay? You get your team of fingers, which I recommend index, middle, and ring, and then you use your torque to go fast, going up like that. But if you can't do that, then you would go up 3 frets and you slide to it. So you go, which sounds almost as good as a bend. I mean, to some people it might sound better. So let me just get a little bit of that solo. I just got to remember it here. It's been a while since I played that one. How does that last part go? So let's see. let's say that's what you're doing there. That sounds great for the Hotel California solo. Hey Darren, how's it going, buddy? So as for Hotel California, I mean, some people might not even realize that you're doing a slide instead of a bend. Some people don't even care. People just want to listen to the song and does it sound good or not, right? So if you're playing this, or if you're going, either way, if you play either way, it's going to sound good if you're playing in musical time, and if it's still smooth, it's not choppy or anything like that. A slide is a great way to get through the solo if you can't do bends. And then once you develop your confidence, then it's going to be a lot easier to then switch that back into bends. So you can go, instead of, okay, well, let's try, okay, let's go for it, maybe. And then you can do it, and then, like, especially on that part, that last part of the solo, or one of the last parts of the solo, you know, then you can build up your bend technique. But first, you don't have to. I mean, even if at first it's just it doesn't have to be perfect, okay? It doesn't have to be exactly like on the record today. It can, as long as you're playing along and you're playing music and you're not stuck on these parts, then, I mean, I'm happy. You're going to be a lot happier in the long run. And your audience, whether it's, you know, your kids, your wife, if you play in a band, the audience that you play, if you play gigs at a bar, or if you're playing live at a festival, everybody's going to be happy. As long as you're playing music. If you're just stuck there trying to figure out this one tiny little part, because the whole time you're trying to play Hotel California and you're going like, and you're like, okay, and you're just trying to like that bend, and it frustrates you, and maybe, I don't know, you smash the desk or something. I mean, I've smashed many desks, I've smashed many guitars, been very, very frustrated with certain parts, and just realizing like, whoa, this is like this important, this important, this takes up this much time inside the whole solo, I've got to move on. I've got to move on with this guitar part, and I've got to just get through this somehow. So temporarily, I'm going to make this part sound as good as possible, and that could be as little as just jumping to the note. It could be sliding to the note, okay? Or it could even be, worst case, even if you're just playing along with the record, just skip the note. If you go, if you can't do it, it's okay, no problem. What I don't want you to do, and hopefully what I'm making clear here, is to kind of harp on this one part, or worse, not even play this solo because you want to prepare for this solo by playing like a B minor harmonic, or B minor, natural minor scale, or a B pentatonic scale, B minor, playing a B minor pentatonic scale, rather than just jumping in and playing with the Eagles, with the record, and having fun, okay? That's just, it's very obvious to me. It's very obvious to my students, members of Play From Day One, members of my band coaching program, you know. It's something that I'm just really trying to have come across here, that playing songs is the most important thing that you can be doing. I see Greg has a question here. I'm not sure of the 3 guitarists to pick up to study. I think Clapton, B.B. King / Buddy Guy, and, okay, well, yeah, so Greg, the B.B. King and Buddy Guy, there's your 3, Clapton, B.B. King, and Buddy Guy. So, yeah, I mean, let's just say, so Clapton, whether it's, okay, so what Greg is asking is basically, because my recommendation, my 3x3x3, basically you get you pick a list of 3 of your favorite guitar players, okay? Then you list 3 songs, solos, riffs that you love, just that you absolutely love from each of the 3. And then you pick one of those guitar players. So that's just like the brain dump phase. And then you go into the next phase where you look at that list, you pick one guitar player, and you focus on that guitar player for 3 weeks straight. Okay, only that guitar player, learning riffs, learning solos, little pieces, little licks, just anything that has to do with that guitar player. Okay, so for example, like Clapton. Now I'm not going to pretend like I know all the different licks from these guitar players. It's very personal for everyone, right? But let's just say if it's Clapton, so maybe you're learning Layla. Okay, even if you're not playing it up to speed, just learning the moves that Eric Clapton's doing. Let me actually switch here to the guitar cam here. Okay, so like if you're playing, or if you're going, so let's just say that kind of thing. Let's just say that part there. With a pentatonic scale, see what's so cool, and this is what I love, is that if you were playing a pentatonic scale and you're just going like this, let's say you're just playing a pentatonic scale, practicing your scales, which I don't recommend. Okay, I recommend that you go to a song like Layla, which just in going like this shows you more of what you can do with a pentatonic scale than what this does. This is the alphabet, and this is a beautiful story, okay? It's not just the words, it's not just the sentences, not just the paragraphs, it's a beautiful story, okay? Because what that does is if you're playing in another, like it gives you two things. It shows you a pattern, okay? And hey Niels, how's it going, buddy? It shows you a pattern, but it also, like so for example, if you're in another key and you just went like, or you get that pattern as Layla. But also what it shows you is, so you can see like at the bottom of a pentatonic scale, you can use those boxes. So you can use that specific thing for if you're playing, let's just say, in the key of B minor. You can play a lick that has that in it. Okay, but then also what you can do is you know that this the sequence of events, hammer, hammer, pull off, pick, pick. So like this little combination, this recipe that Eric Clapton made of hammer, hammer, pull off, pick, pick. That little thing there, that works on anything. Let's just say if you're playing anywhere. And then let's just say, sorry, let's do that again. So. Or, so you're playing like it doesn't have to, see that has like nothing to do with Layla from just from by hearing it, but it has everything to do with Layla, like under the hood, the mechanics of it. See this? What you learn from studying your favorite guitar players, you learn their moves. They've done the work for you. You're not just going to the dictionary and learning what the different words mean, and you're like studying it, aka like music theory, and studying how language was made, and the different the structure of language. What you're doing is you're going right to the source for the greatest speakers, the greatest storytellers. You're doing that with the greatest guitar players, and you're taking the work that they've done. They've already done the work for you. And you're taking that and you're learning that. Okay, so I think, Greg, I think Clapton, B.B. King, and Buddy Guy would be a great start. And by the way, guys, if you are, if you pick your list today, okay, and I can see John Harbour, nice, Matt Bellamy, Slash, and Richie Sambora, great. If you pick that list today, 3 weeks from now, if let's just say, John, you go through Matt Bellamy, so you have Matt Bellamy, he's one of my favorite guitar players as well, so he'd probably be on my 3x3x3. So how does that go again? Oops. So there's these different riffs. What else? What else does he have? He has. Yeah, so you have like Hysteria. You have all these different songs that you can learn just by studying that one guitar player and learn these different moves. But then also, after the first round, the first 3 weeks, let's just say you're going deep dive on Matt Bellamy riffs and solos and licks. Well, then you might get inspired to do something else. Maybe you continue another week. Great, okay. And then maybe Slash, maybe Slash isn't the next person that you do a deep dive on. Maybe it's Richie Sambora, and then maybe it's Joe Satriani or something like that. Like your first list, you can always change it. The main thing is that you get that list going, and this is your curriculum. This is what you're working on, not, you know, just thinking, okay, well, I'm going to practice my scales. I'm going to practice my exercises. Are you seeing how far away we are from that now? Like, even if you're starting, you pick the guitar up right now, right today, for the first time ever. See how far away from the concept of scales and exercises? Like, scales and exercises, like, one day I'm going to be able to do this thing. Why? Why put that so far away? Do it now. Focus on your favorite guitar players now, even if you're playing, you know, with one finger. You don't have to play it perfectly. You're going to be getting the sound of the player, the moves of the player, the different notes that they use, the patterns. It's great stuff. Really great stuff, guys. To when you do this, trust me, this is the way to learn how to just get the sound. This is for guys who want to play solos, make up your own solos, improvise. This is for anybody who just wants to learn more riffs and have fun playing guitar. It's not just about creating your own solos. It gives you a better understanding of the fretboard. Okay, by copying other guitar players and seeing what they do and learning from them. Because let's just say if you go through Matt Bellamy / Richie Sambora, you go through that, and then all of a sudden you find similarities between the players. You also build up your style. This is how, for your own stuff, it's going to have a little bit of Matt Bellamy, a little bit of Slash, a little bit of Sambora in there. Really cool. So Ron is saying Schenker, Lynch, and Van Halen. Cool. And Mark is saying Lynch, Angus Young, and Nita Strauss. Very cool. All right. So, yeah. And nice, John. I was even going to mention that. Nice. I love that. Yeah, technically, the Hysteria riff is Chris, the bass player of Muse. Now, I don't know if he wrote that. That's left to be seen. Maybe it's Bellamy. I heard, so a studio that I worked out of, I was recording there. It was called Vespa, and Matt Bellamy was in town, and he was doing some recording on one of the earlier Muse records. I can't remember if it was Absolution, but I think it was before that. And he just closed the room out, just him. It was only him in the room, and he was just writing and making, you know, masterpieces. And so I can't remember the exact. During that time, I can't remember for that and Absolution if he was just masterminding it all, and then the band kind of like learned some of the stuff and built off of it. But yes, technically that is the bass line. You are right, John. Nice. I love it. So, all right. So yeah, Ron and Mark are saying like George Lynch, Angus Young, Nita Strauss, Schenker, Lynch, Van Halen. Cool. So let's just say, for example, Angus Young. So if Angus Young is doing something like... let's say, what would be good? So even this, even like, so that, it doesn't even matter if it's in key. You can play, let's say, and then, or, let's just say you take that move, which is from Back in Black, right? But you can do the same kind of thing somewhere else, but in a different context. You can take that same kind of move, pull off, and then a bend, and then let's just say it's pulling off to something else. But it's the same concept, but just in a different context. Okay, so taking these guitar players and just understanding the colors that they use, the movements, the patterns. Are they mostly going, you know, maybe they use the harmonic minor scale, and you might not know that it's called that, but it has a sort of ethnic sound to it. So for example, if you have, let's say, that kind of thing. That kind of sound, and you notice, whoa, you know, let's say Joe Satriani, whoa, he uses harmonic minor a lot, or in a certain, or he uses that really ethnic sound a lot, and maybe that's only in a certain era, maybe that's only on a certain album that they do that. But this is what I'm talking about, is that you can understand more about, oh wow, that ethnic sound, how do I do that? Okay, well that's, if I play this fret here, I play this fret here, so 7 to 9, and then I play 8 to 9, and I play that, oh, I get that cool sound. So let's just say if you're improvising and you are playing and then so on and so forth. Okay, so if you're writing, improvising, even just playing more riffs from that player and understanding, getting a deeper understanding of what they're doing. Okay, does that help? Is this helpful, guys, to understand? Like, I mean, my job is to make this so obvious to you. So you're going to hear me saying a lot of the same stuff. And like, so Greg, great point. So I've known Greg for a while. Greg is inside a few of my programs, and even Greg hearing me say these things over and over and over and over, like Greg just says, I admit I do a lot of scales. I'm going to change that. Awesome, dude. And it's my job. I can't be there 24/7 for you guys, but showing up here and just reminding you as you keep getting sidetracked with life and other responsibilities. And when you practice, you revert back to what you think you should be doing. I'm just keep repeating over and over and over. Play songs, study the players that you love. There's so much music out there. That's your curriculum, okay? And if you want to write songs, that's still your curriculum. I like, the whole reason I picked up the guitar is so that I could write songs, but I learned the sound that I wanted, and I mixed this and mixed this and mixed this and mixed this. It's like a little bit Edge from U2, a little bit Matt Bellamy from Muse, a little bit Coldplay. It's so funny. For some reason, I keep forgetting. So hold on. Chris Martin, Will Champion, Johnny. Oh my God, for some reason, see, this is a funny thing about Coldplay, is they're not really rock stars. Like, it's just a band that I think is just an awesome band. I love their songs. But yeah, for some reason, that's so funny. One of my favorite guitar players, I can't remember his name. That's driving me nuts. Johnny, oh my gosh, I gotta look that up. That's just ridiculous. It's escaping. Buckland. Yeah. That's it, Johnny Buckland. Let's see, Johnny Coldplay, or no, is it Buckland? Buckland, yeah, Johnny Buckland. Yeah, so it's Johnny Buckland. So anyway, just great guitar player. It's so funny, like I love Coldplay, and my sound is based on, with the delay and harmonizers and things like that. It's based on these guitar players, and that's what I would do. I'd do a deep dive, and I probably did at some point, and even I remember when, I first heard John Mayer's guitar playing on Continuum or on Battle Studies, and it's just like, what? This is ridiculous. Sounds so good. And so he really inspired my guitar playing, especially with the thumb at the top, playing the sixth string and playing chords like that. Really inspired me. So these guitar players, this is where the good stuff is. Taking those guitar players and learning, from them, and it's just, I feel really passionate about that, and for you not to do the other thing, because it's just gonna, in my opinion, it's just gonna waste your time. We only have so much time to play. Why play scales and exercises for one day, or read up on theory for one day? I'm gonna be able to play songs or learn songs. And I'll tell you right now that if you're thinking like, if I just understand music theory, then I'll be able to play guitar. No, if you're able to play guitar, play songs, then you're able to play guitar. It's not in the music theory. I've been through it all. And trust me, yes, there's some value, of course, to music theory, but that is like understanding what's going on after the fact. If you want to, it's optional. Some guys who play and play great, they don't know music theory, and that's fine. You don't need it. They don't know how to sight read. You don't need to do that. You need some way to get the information in. whether that is through Tab, whether that's through sheet music, whether that's through watching a video, whether that's through an expert like me telling you what to do. It doesn't matter how you get the information in. The main thing is what you're talking about is going to be a song and not scales and exercises. All right, so hopefully that's helpful. And by the way, if you want me to show you how to do that for songs that you love and for solos and stuff like that, then definitely check out playfromdayone.com. That's why this link is here. This is my flagship program for helping you. It's a mentorship. It's not a guitar course where you watch videos and that's it. I work with you personally to help you play songs you love with less practice time and to keep reminding you, don't play scales, don't play exercises, just keep playing these songs, keep doing this, and I guide you step by step through all of that. Cool, Mark, nice. I'm glad this is helpful, buddy. Playing punk, very cool. Ramones, Dead Kennedys, Sex Pistols, very cool. So yeah, so I would do the same thing. So if you're going to be playing that, and it doesn't just have to be for lead guitar, it's even for just playing in the style. So like for example, let's say if you just understand that, let's say the power chords are mostly in this L shape, let's say, and that's what, let's say, the Ramones do. You hear it on like countless songs, great. And you have this sort of palm muting. They play first without palm mute, and then they add the palm mute, and you just notice, you recognize these patterns, and it doesn't matter if you could play it up to speed, it just matters that you are experiencing this for a longer period of time and keeping your focus just on that. Like they say, like, you know, when you take, so not they say, I mean, this is what happens, everyone knows this, that you take a magnifying glass and you take the sun, you have the sun go through the magnifying glass and concentrate the sun into something like, let's say, grass or whatever. I mean, kids do whatever, like bugs or whatever, like whatever they point that at. And I mean, yeah, I mean, it creates a crazy amount of power right there with that focus. So if you're focusing on a guitar player that you love and you're focusing on all of their, as much of their music as possible at any speed, any amount, then you are going to be a better guitar player who sounds like the guitar player that you want to sound like. Okay, so it's like, I want to sound like Johnny Buckland from Coldplay, or I want to sound like George Lynch, or I want to sound from, you know, so on and so forth. And then you play scales. And then you're going back to like the ingredients rather than the recipe, that like the final product on the plate that you want. It doesn't make sense. It's just too far, like there's too much space. And you know, like for me, wanting to be a professional musician when I was a kid and then becoming a professional musician, it's a different ball game. That like, first of all, I was a kid, I had so much time. And then when I was a professional, when I first started being a professional, I had obviously time to practice because that's how I was getting paid. I was like, for the first time I was getting paid as a guitar player, and it's like, of course I have all the time in the world to practice and practice all different things and be as good as possible. But right now, if let's just say, unless you're a professional musician, if you're not a professional musician, then you probably don't have all the time in the world to practice, and so it doesn't make sense to do the thing that where you understand everything first and then play. No, play first, and then if you have time, then understand later, okay? So like, play the song, and what I mean by understand is not understand how to play it and play it effortlessly. I'm saying understand if you want to like dig deeper into music theory, or if you want to fix the problem and really refine that maybe your ring finger to pinky is a little bit weaker. So you want to like refine and polish. Like, that is after the fact. You know, if I ask you, hey, how many songs can you play effortlessly? If you say 0, we need to talk. All right? If you say 5 or 10, cool, that's a good start. Let's get some more. Let's get like 20 or 30 where you feel good playing them. Then you could start looking at some other stuff. But what's the point of having a guitar and not being able to play it? Or having a guitar and you have then beside it, you know, a piece of paper and pen, and you're studying music theory rather than playing your guitar. You know, if you spend more time with the pen and paper or in a theory course than playing guitar, then what's the point of the guitar? You know, the guitar should be playing music as much as possible. So if you focus the majority of your energy on the playing, and then you build up, 20, 30 songs, 30, 40, things like that, then you could dig deeper if you want to. Still optional, still totally optional. You don't ever have to do it if you don't want to. I'm going to help you regardless of anything. So if you do want to get into that, I can explain things to you. But first I would ask you, okay, well, how many songs can you play? How many can you play effortlessly? Because why would you want to understand something for one day? Unless you're going to be a music theory professor and you're not going to be playing guitar, then yes, maybe you need to know that information, of course, but I doubt that anybody here or most people here are here for that. Okay, you have a guitar, you just spent some money on a guitar, you want to be able to play it. All right, so, and yeah, John, you're right. The understanding will come from playing. The understanding of how to coordinate it and how to make it effortless, all that stuff comes from playing. And then if there's anything else that you want to look at, then you can definitely dig into that. So what I'll do, wow, this is 35 minutes. So I was basically, I don't want to say killing time, I love hanging out with you, but I just shot a video and I was just waiting for it to upload, and I thought, hey, why don't I just come online and hang out? And I thought it was going to be for 15 or 20 minutes, and now it's going for about double that. So I have some videos to edit and some stuff to prepare over here. It's been an absolute pleasure hanging out with you. Thank you for all the questions. By the way, if you're watching this replay and you have more questions, or for anyone here watching live, if you have more questions, be sure to type them inside the comment box or the chat box, wherever you're watching, and I'll be happy to answer that either in the comments or in a future video. So it's always a pleasure hanging out with you. Hopefully this video was helpful. If you're serious about taking your guitar playing to the next level and you want my help to show you how to do all this stuff with way less practice time, to structure it, to guide you, to give you that accountability, then definitely check out playfromdayone.com, add your name to the waiting list. It's a closed program by invite only. I just want to make sure that we're the right fit. So answer a few quick questions about your playing, and then I'll reach out to you and we can chat about if the program is the right fit for you. All right, so that is all for today. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.